Hello everyone, I am Lakshmi Singh with my friend Avi Sharma, student of Universal Convent Senior Secondary School, Halwai Nainital, studying in class 12 Science, are here for our art integrated project of physics. Before moving towards project, firstly I would like to thank our physics teacher, Mrs. Kanchan Pan, who helped us very much for this project. Her able guidance and useful suggestions make our project timely. And secondly, I would like to thank our parents for their support and guidance. The topic of our art integrated project of physics is Bernoulli's theorem. This theorem was given by Daniel Bernoulli, Swiss scientist who was born on 29 January 1700. He is most famous for his work in fluid pressure.
Hello everyone, I am Avi Sharma. So here I am to tell you about the Bernoulli's theorem, which is also known as Bernoulli's principle. Bernoulli's theorem states that the total energy of a small amount of an incompressible liquid moving from one point to another remains constant throughout the displacement is called Bernoulli's theorem. Now, Bernoulli's equation. The Bernoulli's equation is written as P plus half rho V square plus rho Gs is equal to constant. The pair P stands for the static pressure of the fluid at the cross section. Rho stands for the density of the fluid flow. G stands for the acceleration due to gravity. V stands for the mean velocity of the fluid flow at the cross section, and H stands for the height of elevation.
So let's go for derivation. Let us consider a situation. The fluid is moving through an area of cross section A1 and A2 respectively. The volume of liquid entering A1 per second is A1 V1 and the volume of liquid leaving A2 per second is A2 V2. Therefore, the mass of the liquid entering A1 is ρ1 A1 V1 and the mass of the liquid leaving A2 is ρ2 A2 V2. Now, assuming that there is no loss in fluid in the tube, so now our equation has found that ρ1 A1 V1 is equals to ρ2 A2 V2. Now we know that for ideal gases, the density of the liquid entering will be equals to the density of the liquid leaving. So ρ1 is equals to ρ2. So ρ1 cuts ρ2 and the equation will be formed A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. Therefore, this shows as AB is equals to constant. This is the equation of continuity. Let's consider a different situation of a tube AB of different cross sections A1 and A2 at different heights H1 and H2. So it's clearly shown in figure that A1 is greater than A2. Therefore P1 will be greater than P2. So P1 will be the velocity of the liquid coming from A1 and V2 will be the velocity of the liquid moving to A2. So we can clearly say that V2 is greater than V1. So these were the some terms which are very important for the derivation. So now let's go for derivation. So first of all we need work done. So work done on A will be W1. So for work done we need force and displacement because work done is equals to force into displacement. Force on A1 will be P1 A1 and displacement on A1 will be V1 delta T, where delta T is change in time table. So same as on A2, so work done on A2 will be W2 and force on A2 will be P2 A2 and displacement on A2 will be V2 delta T. So now net work done will be W1 minus W2 and this is the net work done, or we can say that dW is a small change in work done. So according to the law of conservation of energy, total work done is equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So here is small change in work done is equals to small change in kinetic energy plus small change in potential energy. So small change in kinetic energy will be half m2 square m2 v2 square minus half m1 v1 square, and small change in potential energy will be mgh2 minus mgh1. Putting all these values in dW is equals to dk plus du. At last we will get our equation of Bernoulli's theorem, which is P plus half rho v square plus rho gh is equals to constant. It is very important formula for in all field of fluids, very important for mechanism of fluid. So you can see that I have a pipe and water is flowing through it. So let's see that if I increase the area of cross section of the pipe, then the water will increase or not. See, if I increase then the pressure of the water is increased. This shows that the water, if I decrease the area of cross section of the pipe, the water flow per second will be constant. So now applications of Bernoulli's theorem. First one is working of aeroplanes. Bernoulli's principle explains us that the aeroplane can lift because of the shape of its wings. The shape of wings are designed like that the air flows faster towards the top and slower underneath, which create a high pressure, and the high pressure underneath will push the aircraft to lift up. So as we have studied the working of aeroplane, so let's do it practically. I have these two planes. These are simple paper planes. You can also make this. You can see that the wings of these planes are like the birds. As you can see also on the image downward, these wings are designed like a bird, which help to lift this plane. And the mouth is a sharp to cut the air. See, it will fly. See, like that. If I rotate the mouth of this like this, it is not sharp. You can see that, and it will not fly. See, like this. It has a crash landing. This shows that the Bernoulli's theorem has explained the correct one of the working of aeroplane.
Now, atomizer. Atomizer is a device that transforms liquid into mist as a nozzle used to feed oil into a furnace or enclosed bottle with fine outlets used to spray perfumes.
As you can see that there is an arrangement of activity based on atomizer. There is a rubber bulb denoted by B is squeezed, the air flows through the narrow tube of the aperture O. As the aperture of the glass tube is narrow, the velocity of air increases as it comes out from the tube. So it reduces the pressure near the point O. As you know, if the velocity of air increases, then there will decrease in pressure. So this difference in pressure, liquid rises up into the vertical tube. Stream of air coming out of narrow tube P blows the liquid into the fine spray and or water droplets. So this application is used in perfume in our daily lives.
The third application is blowing off roof by windstorm. The high wind blowing over the roof creates a low pressure. This low pressure is smaller than the pressure of upthrust. The upthrust creates a pressure which is as shown in image P2, and the wind pressure is P1. As you can see that P2 is greater than P1. By this, the roof is lifted up. If P1 is equals to P2, means the pressure of wind will be equals to pressure of upthrust, then the roof will not lift up. But due to the low pressure created by the wind, the upthrust is greater than the wind pressure. That's why the roofs are lifted up during the windstorm.
Now, Magnus effect. The force exerted on a rapidly spinning cylinder or sphere moving at an angle axis of the spin. This force is responsible for the gravity of the ball. When we hit or thrown with spin, this effect is known as Magnus effect.
So, I am taking an example of cricket ball with spin based on Magnus effect. As you can see, there is a cricket ball. For a better understanding, I have taken a bigger ball. The bowler will throw the ball without spin, it will hit the ground at some point. If the bowler will throw the ball with top spin means the rotation of a ball is in the forward direction in its own axis is called top spin. Means the bowler will throw the ball with top spin means the ball is in like this in the forward direction and with same velocity and same direction. It will hit the ground below the point of without spin. The bowler will throw the ball with back spin means the rotation of a ball is in the backward direction in its own axis. It's called backspin. If the bowler will throw the ball with backspin, the ball goes like this with same velocity and in the same direction. It will hit the ground away from the point of without spin. So why this happening? Now I will tell you. In case of top spin, the ball goes like this, means in the forward direction, in the same direction, and the velocity will be same. In this direction, the speed of air below the surface of a ball is more and the pressure is less. As you study, if the velocity of air is more, then there will be less pressure. The velocity of air below the surface of a ball is more and the pressure is less, and velocity of air above the surface of a ball is less and the pressure will be more. So by this pressure, the ball will hit the ground below the point of without spin. And in case of backspin, the ball goes like this in the same velocity in the same direction. The speed of air below the surface is less and the pressure is more, and the speed of air above the surface of a ball is more and the pressure is less. So by this pressure, the ball will hit the ground away from the point of without spin. Now, I hope you can better understand why this is happening.